cool, friendly. So yeah, welcome to the show, man. How you been?
Not too bad. Don't change the title though, okay? I don't need we don't need any we don't need to do what everyone else does, use my name for clickbait. But since Sean is
Yeah,
here, I did want to chat with Sean for a bit. Why not, right?
yeah. The floor is yours, bro. Go ahead.
Well, I came in and heard I already forgot his name spitting spitting the fake news facts. It's still painful to hear, it's still painful to see. I haven't been able to talk for a long time. I really shouldn't be saying anything right now, but sometimes I get a little fired up when, as anyone would, about hearing things that are so off base and uh, I don't know. It's tough. But since Sean's here and Sean wanted to speak on it, I kind of wanted to field some questions from Sean. Sean, go ahead, please.
Oh, geez, you put me on the stage here. I don't really have any questions for you, Mike. Um, whew,
Well, I got a lot for you, but
I
I
was
figured I'd
looking
let you
for
go first.
this is you got a lot for me. Oh, what did I do? No, but this is your stage, man. Is they want to hear from you. They don't want to hear from me. I don't like I said. I don't have any questions for you. We played on the show. I've told people this many times. I played on the show probably 25 times, and you and I probably played together, I don't know, 5 or 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I never saw any impropriety on the days that I played. That's exactly what I told in 2017. It's exactly what I said today. And I'll also go on record, if need be said, that Justin Caritis is one of the nicest people I've ever met in this industry. So to think that he would be involved in anything seems crazy to me. And that's where I left it. That's my opinion is my own. At that point, I don't have anything more to say to it. I'm not I back then I didn't get involved with anybody that reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to join this?" Whether it's a lawsuit or this or
Mm-hmm.
that or just get on a stage or anything. I was quiet. I never said anything. I never got involved, and I still don't get involved. There's no value to me as a person in the industry on my side of the table to give any opinions or anything. I don't have anything to give. So I guess my first question to you would be like, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Well, let's see. How long did it take? How long did it take for the industry collectively to convict me? Let's ask that. How long did it take? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't know how long the. Are you talking about like your like the court stuff, or are you just talking about the court of public opinion?
Yeah, the court of poker opinion. I'll
I don't know.
give
It's
you a
pretty
little
fast.
recap. Veronica first opened her mouth September 28th of 2019. How long after that did it take for? I think the polls were 92 to 94% guilty. How long did it take for it to reach those numbers?
I'm gonna guess faster than the actual investigation.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So, what I've been doing to answer your question is to be able to go over every single thing, which, going through almost 100 streams at 4.5, 5 hours, whatever they are, and then going hand for hand, actually figuring out the true data. That takes a lot of time, as you can imagine. So, what I'm curious about is why did so few question how this so-called data came out in a matter of days, actually less than days, day or two. How did all of this, how do all this data come out so quickly when we're talking about over 400 hours of actually being able to compile it? Why?
Well, forgive me because it's been a while, but I don't know the exact timelines of when everything came out. But I agree. I will give you this. I don't know if I say the word agree, but I'll give you this. When anything happens in our poker industry and it's like something that's, put in a bad light or something like that, has a negative tone, people are always going to gravitate to the worst part of the story first, and then it's crazy, but we have to prove ourselves innocent. So yeah, it probably happened. The pitchforks, I would assume, came out faster than the full investigation.
Yeah, I didn't hear some of that. I had my daughter was calling. So I missed the first half of that, but I'm gonna just guess at what you said. The whoever was talking prior to Sean coming up, they managed to repeat everything that everyone wanted to hear. And when I say that in that those who were involved were putting things together for months ahead of time. Out of the thousands of detectives at home watching Joey Ingram entertain you, nobody actually did any
Yeah, I think you might have muted Mike.
Nah, it's a connection issue.
On me? Hold on.
Nah, he dropped out for me too. Mike, you there? Mike, we'll be right here if you got to come back. Because if his mic was muted, we could see it. We got Mike Postle. We're going to chill. Hopefully he comes back. Thank you to you guys for showing up to the Omar show, where we've got Mike Postle live dealing with technical issues. Still the best show around. We appreciate your patronage very much. The one and only Mike Postle. Hopefully he resolves the issue. If you're enjoying the program, stay tuned and check out more exciting programming coming up from Omar of the OTC and yours truly. Eden Rock's still here. I'm sure he'll be back, right? All right. Poker Boss, you had your hand up. What do you think about Mike Postle? Hopefully he comes back. What do you think about what he was about to say or the interactions you just had with him?
Yeah, he's back.
You did great being put on the spot, too.
Mike back. He's up on the panel now. Can you guys chill on the requests, please? We want to give Mike a fair shake. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
Hey, sorry, I got a little distracted hearing about all that, and I'm leaving now to go pick up my daughter from practice. So I was a little I got a little sidetracked there. Anyway, is Sean still up?
Yeah, he's right there.
Okay. I had one question in particular for Sean, but it escapes me at the moment. Anyway, what I was getting to earlier, for anyone who heard whoever was talking prior to Sean,
It's just a
I don't
spaces
want
enjoyer.
to,
It's just a guy.
yeah, I, I really hate comparing my situation to anything that is significantly bigger. But I mean, how many of you, asking anyone, how many of you believe every single thing that you see in mainstream media? I mean, how much, how much of that is true? When someone or a group of people have almost a year head start to create and spin a narrative and come up with data that is so far fetched, um, I, I, I'm just, and there's a lot of things I can't say yet. So I'm trying to be careful as I talk here. So it's not really a good idea for me to be really doing
Yeah,
this because I don't know what I
say
can.
anything.
There's a lot of things there's a lot of things that I can't say yet because it's being saved for later. But I'm wondering if maybe people can open their eyes to the fact that literally everything that was said, that was spun, that was created, that literally none of it is true. When I say that, I mean the exaggerating, the manipulation, the fabrication, um, and I mean people hearing an influencer who's got a reputation in the industry scream into a microphone and then automatically believe it's factual. Like we need to do a better job, I think. One second.
Well, Mike, if there's one thing we do here often, it's we have some fun. We play some games. We do thought experiments. So, in my opinion, and I'm just speaking for myself, and from my own following, I'm sure they would agree, which is not insubstantial. We can easily do things here. If you want to run some thought experiments, set up some parameters, and just be heard without being pressed, we'd be happy to accommodate that. I'm being serious.
Yeah,
For what that's worth, if you don't mind me saying so, Mr. Postle.
I'm still working on how, I guess the how of everything that has taken me years to get the get the actual research done on. I mean, I was I was the one accused, and it's taken me, how long has it been to really put things together. Now, granted, that goes beyond the actual the fake data out there, but I mean, if it's taken me this long to even say anything, how can anyone else just hear something after a few days and just, you know, it's the gospel. But it's I mean that's how it is. There's no fun in this if I'm not guilty. So it's it's what it's what people want to believe. And my question for Sean still escapes me, but um, I'll I don't know. Let's go with this. Since no one ever thought of this or considered this a possibility, what if everyone decides to look at this with an open mind from here on out, or when the time comes, and realizes or knows that I knew about the accusations against me, the rumors, the the I guess inner talks amongst the handful of people who were first involved. Uh, I don't know. Would things change if people knew that I knew the entire time about what was being said about me or thought was being done? Would it also change if people knew, what I guess what I'm about? I'm a smart ass by nature, which gets me into a lot of trouble sometimes. But I'm a bit of a prankster, and I like to play the gotcha moments at times. What if I don't know? What if I was documenting things the entire time for almost a year before Veronica even said anything when she did on Twitter? What if? What if there was a plan A that I knew about, but just wasn't privy yet to the plan B? What if? What if this was an entirely premeditated conspiracy to? I can't say that. To do something very nefarious and illegal, way worse than anything I was accused of. What if? Going back.
Sounds like a powerful metaphor, Mr. Postle. Sorry.
Yeah, I've always been a movie fan. I alluded to this with some friends. If anyone has seen the movie, has anyone seen the movie Now You See Me? About the magicians, the Four Horsemen. Have you seen that
Yes.
movie? Eden, Omar.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Eden, you see it?
Yeah, I saw it, Mike.
Okay. Well, at least you'll get it. You'll get it. I would.
Oh, I get it, Mike. We're here to. The people
I would
want to know the truth, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what I would. The best way to put it would be that it's very comparable to my situation when it comes to the deception, the trickery. There might even be a quote. I don't know if it's from that movie or another, but it's not the magician who tricks you. It's the magician tricks you to or convinces you to trick yourself. And I think it's a good analogy for my situation, because literally everything that has been said, determined as fact, um, none of it's true. And of course anyone can just say that, but what I can say is that I started documenting things long before Veronica went public, and everything that I have said now, everything that I will say in the future, all of that can be proven because I did document it. And as far as who will be lumped into that is still being determined. It's not a secret that I reached out to Matt Berkey. I told him that I'd be interested in having a conversation with him, but first I wanted to talk, just him and I, and just have a few questions answered. That's it. And he's been unwilling to answer one question that I've had for him, and it's confusing. Why were none of the most vocal people against me? Why can't they have a conversation with me? Is kind of what I'm curious about. I also reached out to Nick Bertucci. That is true, and I told him that I wanted to have a one-on-one with Veronica, and by that I mean a one-on-one, question for question discussion where she can ask me anything, I can ask her anything, and no time limit, no limit on the questions. When she runs out of questions before me,
Thank you for joining us on the Omar Show. Mike's here with us. Mike, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm picking up.
No, you're good. It's just the spaces. Sorry about that.
1 second. Hey, sweetie. Shh. Okay. I need you to be quiet. All right. All right. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. You're totally you're good, Mike. We know how it is on the spaces. Don't worry about a thing.
Okay.
You still got the floor.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess since I did get a response that she would do it, and then after she said that she would, it was she had a demand and then another demand and then more excuses. So I guess I'll put it out there so people know, and get to her, let her know I want to have a fair, simple discussion with Veronica on her and Nick's show, and what I want from that, I mentioned already. Just no editing, unless unless we agree on it after the fact. But no editing, no interruptions, question for question, and she can bring all her evidence and consult with whoever she needs to ahead of time, and I'll bring some of what I got, and we'll actually have we'll have more of a fair talk, since everything's been so one-sided. And I know it's easy, when someone's silent for a long time, it's real easy to fall back into that narrative of, oh, he's 100% guilty. There's just no way around it. Well, people have been conditioned with quite a bit of confirmation bias to make that a fact. I guess we go a little bit further with it, and remembering some of what whoever that guy was, bless his heart, repeating some of the things that have been said. I never lost any big hands, never lost any hands. There was hundreds of hands that prove that something happened. No, that's not anywhere near true. What you were seeing in streams that you were seeing, which were, well, premeditated concoctions of what the magicians wanted everyone to see. Anyone who, says that, oh yeah, I've seen it all. I watched Joey Ingram. No, you didn't see it all. There's almost 100 streams that can be seen, and they're all still up on YouTube for a reason. So anyone who wants to do the work can actually do the work. Now, my side has done that. In the lawsuit, it was claimed that I won 94% of my sessions when it was actually right on pretty close to my career average of 78%. Historically, I've won 3 out of 4 sessions that I've played. Like, it's not astronomical. It's not out of the norm for someone who's been playing for a living for over 20 years to game select well and win like 3 out of 4 sessions. It was claimed that I won over $1,000 an hour and that I was playing 1-3, and I'm glad Sean brought this up. Those weren't 1-3 games, and I'm like, no one wants to talk about that. Why does no one want to talk about how there was anywhere from $10,000 to almost $100,000 on the table with massive straddles and crazy action with some of the area's biggest action players and a lot of players who are successful in life outside of poker who just wanted to splash around and gamble. All these streams that have come out in the last couple of years, like if there's any proof as far as that whole narrative, like they should have been dispelled with what's been going on the streams the last couple of years out there. And then the win total, so the common narrative is, he won 250 to 350,000 just playing 1-3 no limit, and that's impossible. Well, that's not anywhere near true. The games, and Sean, Veronica, others who played, Dave Tuckman came on and said, man, if I would drive and go play this game every single week if I could, like, why would you want to do that if it was just a normal 1-3 game? The reason is because it was one of the best games on the entire West Coast, and a lot of people knew that. So, but as far as that total, and Matt Berkey was one that I reached out to. Go ahead, sweetie. Go ahead and go inside. One of the reasons I reached out to him is because he's been the only one in the last, few years who did the work to find out how much I really won and, getting the actual correct data out there. He's the only one who's come out and said, yeah, he won 150,000. Matt Berkey, said that, whether that slipped out or he didn't mean to say it. He said it, and no one thought twice about even mentioning it. Matt Berkey and Phil Galfond were, Phil especially, were going to, come up with their findings. They did do all the work. It was crowdsourced and put together, and I know what the findings are because I've done that as well. So why is that not being talked about?
Mike, would you want to field any questions now or no?
No, I
Okay,
just got
no
all
problem.
fired up earlier.
Yeah, no
listening
question.
to listening to listening to someone spew about, I guess I equate it to someone having, I guess you name your 3-letter news source that you might listen to, and just having that repeat while you sleep, and then waking up and quoting it as if it's that's true because I heard it. Like, I guess I want to challenge some people to do some critical thinking and revisit some things, and then I'd like them to reach out and have a talk with me. Berkey, you're one of them. I asked you, I said, hey, let's just have a simple conversation, just you and I. No cameras, no microphones, no attention, no clicks. Let's just have a little chat, and we'll go from there. And no response. You would think that anyone, especially someone who, well, fabricated or manipulated or straight up lied about things, or had my name in their mouth over and over, would welcome the chance to have a man-to-man discussion, uh, however you wanted to have it, and try and find some common ground or compromise on the truth of some things. Joey Ingram, he knows. Um, I've I guess it's I've had a few conversations with Joey. He would admit that he got a little excited and went overboard a little bit. But that's okay, because I don't really hold anything against Joey, because he's an entertainer. It's what he does, and people like to be entertained, and they like wild stories, and they like cheating scandals, as everyone in the industry knows. They're obsessed with it. So when it comes time to actually do the work and find out whether someone did something or not, it's no fun when the evidence points the other way. But Sean, we'll have another chat soon.
Hey, Mike, I'll
I'll
tell you
I
this,
got a little
buddy.
more of a clear head.
I'll tell you this, buddy. Sorry, I missed like 2 or 3 minutes there in the middle. I had my boss's boss called, and unlike Matt Savage, I can't just send my boss the voicemail. But if you bring me anything and you want me to look at something, I give you my word, I will look at it fairly, professionally, using my expertise from my side of the table. Whatever, if you want me to look at something, I will look at it unbiasedly. For the most part, through all of this, I've remained pretty neutral because I just don't find value in getting involved. Am I perfect?
Mm-hmm.
No, of course not. Of course not. If, the pitchforks have been there, buddy. So if I even myself am not perfect, I might have thrown one myself, just frustratingly. But I will say it in front of everybody here. When we played together, we were friends, and I still have no opinion on the big subject that matter. I know you to be a good dude. And like I said, I'll give you a fair shake if you bring anything to me. I think your story should be told. Whatever way you want to tell it, you should get your voice out there. But yeah, if you want to hit me in the back channels, I know you've hit me up before and we've talked. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to throw any pitchforks at you or anything like that. And if you like I said, if you want me to look over anything, I will. And full disclosure, I'm friends with everybody on the other side. You know what I mean? So it's not like, but I will look at whatever you want to bring me unbiasedly.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, as you know, I've been trying to do that for a while, especially since I played my first tournament in almost 4 years. I guess it was about a year ago now. Um, you know, obviously something happened that was pretty surprising and hurtful, and I wanted to discuss that with you. And I know that you and Veronica are very close, and you know, I know when she's in anyone's ear, it's something that needs to be addressed one way or the other, because if not, you're going to keep hearing about it. So I get it, um, but I mean, I just want. I guess I reached my breaking point tonight. Um, I just want I want questions to be asked. You know, yeah, I believe it was. I actually heard I was listening to the space that Eden did a long time ago, where Sean, you came in at the end and talked about me a little bit in regards to what happened after that final table, that tournament that I played. Uh, and there's some of the questions that need to be asked are like, why was Veronica adamant, beyond adamant, that absolutely no one in the poker industry give me any sort of platform to, tell my side of the story, or, provide evidence of documentation of what I have? Why is that? And in my experience, when one side is telling a story and that side doesn't want the other party to speak, it's usually because they're either hiding something or lying about something, or both. Of course, in this case, it's both. But it's like, why is that? And I mean, there's, I mean, I could rattle off. If I had everything in front of me, I could rattle off about 50 different questions that could be asked, where anyone with any desire or partial intelligence, should be able to see it and say, wow, yeah, like maybe that is something we need to look at. Um, I wasn't planning on, I was not planning on saying anything. I've actually been told still not to say anything. Um, I've I've been close to my breaking point multiple times. Um, you know, I a lot of it is, I have people on, who've done a lot of work for me or helping me quite a bit, and I I respect their opinion and what they want me to do, which of course is to not say anything until the time is right. Um, but at the same time, I really wish that people who know me, people who played with me on the stream, uh, like you, Sean. I really wish, people would reach out to me and ask me some questions. Like, one thing that's baffled me for the last 4.5 years, since all of this happened, I've been surprised that a lot of friends, close friends, and people I've played with never never even thought to reach out to me. You know, I I can't wait to have conversations with anyone anyone who wants to have one. That's tied in somehow. So I'm hoping we can make that happen at some point. Though I know some don't want to have that tough conversation with me, especially since everyone thought that I retreated to a basement somewhere and I've, just been hiding out, when that's nowhere near the truth. Uh, it's taken a lot, takes a long time. I have a lot more respect for the legal system, in a sense, because it does take a long time to, put everything together from an investigative standpoint, especially when it's something as large and broad that involves quite a bit, like my situation. Speaking to that, since it was talked about earlier, and I know you touched on it, Sean. This whole narrative that the DOJ and the California court system doesn't know anything about poker and laws need to be changed and whatnot. No, that's not necessarily the case. The case against me was brought in front of a judge who took the time to hear it, and he asked for evidence to be provided for it to continue. And when that evidence was provided, it was basically nothing. And the judge laughed, asking if there was anything else, because there was absolutely no evidence whatsoever. And the reason there was no evidence whatsoever is because everything that was in that court filing that was provided as proof against me, not a single word of it was true. Not a single fact, data point. Having Doug Polk quoted as saying that, winning 20, 30 big blinds is just absolutely extraordinary. That really didn't do anything, because even non-poker players know that, especially when you get streams nowadays, or even in our case, when we played on the stream, Sean, we're, just because we're playing 1-3, the blinds don't matter. We could have been playing, we could have been playing 10 cent, 20 cent, or 10 and a quarter. It would have been the same game. Like, anyway, I wanted to say some things that I know I couldn't say, so I was trying to reword that. The case against myself, and especially Justin and Stones, was thrown out because what little evidence they had was so far fabricated, so easily proven, that it was an absolute waste of time for it to continue. I represented myself, and I didn't care one way or the other if the case continued or not, because a big part of me wanted it to continue. Here's another question. In my defamation suit, I gave everyone, especially Veronica, the opportunity to go forth and go through discovery. People, why would I do that? Veronica and others said that, me or, Stones fighting it, I should have gone through with it, just to be able to prove my side. Well, I gave her an opportunity to prove her side and get whatever she wanted out of me in discovery. And instead of going down that path, the same path that I was ridiculed for not taking myself, when given that opportunity after, what happened? She went the route to squash it. Why? If you want information and you want answers, why wouldn't you go through and get it? Well, I mean, I know why, but poker players are very, very intelligent, especially the top players. There's no doubt about it. But when it came to this, there was almost no critical thinking at all. And I don't know, maybe we can make that. Maybe we can make that happen now, at some point. Maybe maybe the spitting of, it was impossible for me to win at the rates that I won at, and and he won every hand, and there's hundreds of hands that prove it, and maybe those narratives can finally be looked at and said, okay, yep, we got that. We didn't get that one right. Maybe we can make that happen soon. Actually, we will make it happen soon. I just wanted to give a little head start on it. See if we can get those same detectives that are out there saying that it's case closed. Maybe we can get some of them on the case and see if we can match up the facts and everything that was said. I know everything that's been said. I have about 12,000 screenshots and downloaded podcasts and interviews and streams and YouTube whatnot. Like I've got it all documented. I can't wait to go back through it with everyone who said what they said and provide evidence on each side, and we'll see who's you know whose side was correct, or who's telling the truth, and who is more interested in attention or clicks or followers or donations or profit. Maybe we can get someone to help out with that. Omar said he'd do it. I heard him say it
Ye-
earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing. I don't know how much you pay attention to spaces, but here at Skid Row, it's kind of our thing. I got
I
about 12
uh,
guys in the back channels that we enjoy it. It's kind of quirky thing, but yeah, man, we're unbiased. I am for sure. I think I see the way these clicks roll. You know what I mean? They
mhm.
push their narratives. Not saying anything about this case, but other cases they push their narrative, and everybody piles on, and things are said that's not what was said, and then it's passed as gospel. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm biased, and as you know, Eden is the good host, and but yeah, we're on it, man. The guys are on it. We were getting bored,
Well,
anyways.
you're uh, yeah. I Spaces isn't my thing. I've only tuned in, uh, you know, a time or two randomly, especially when I've got a lot of I do have a lot of friends out there who do listen to random things, and I hear about it, and so and so is talking about you, or so and so is, still spitting the same fake news garbage that's out there as if it's 100% true, and so I'll tune in, and that's kind of what happened tonight. I heard something was going on, and then I came in, and the first thing I hear is this guy talking about, yeah, me winning like pot ripper, and I'm just like, yeah, here we go. I mean, do you know that there's people who honestly truly believe that me winning around $150,000 over the course of a year and a half, playing a game that equates to anywhere from 1020 to 2550. There's people who still believe that me winning $150,000 over the course of a year and a half in that game, in those games, believe it's the same odds as winning the Powerball 11 times in a row. That was one of the early concoctions by the other side to create something that I had to learn quite a bit about, which is confirmation bias. And when you have the industry's finest all teaming up together to prove a narrative, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. You are guilty immediately, and without going too far into that, um, that's pretty much what happened. And everything that was spun early on, uh, the narratives, we can talk. I'd gladly talk about any of the hands that I played that are in question. I'd be happy to talk about them, when the time is right, and I will. Um, uh, I guess I just wanted to. You caught me at the right time. I've had a severe lack of sleep. I haven't slept. I haven't slept in a couple days, and I actually right now I'm pretty close to how I was from a delirious standpoint as I was when I talked to Mike Matisow after I'm sitting with family and ESPN is on, and then I see Scott Van Pelt somehow talking about myself, and I already hadn't slept in a long time. But anyway, I feel pretty much like that when I did the Matisow interview. I hadn't slept in over 50 hours. I couldn't tell right from left, and you know he called me and said, "Hey, let's just have a conversation." And I fought it for a while. I told him I'm just not in the right frame of mind. I can't do anything right now. I can't even think straight. But he convinced me that it would just be two poker players talking, and we just let it let it roll however it rolled. No rehearsal, just spitting stuff out. Which is what happened. I didn't listen to that. I didn't listen to the Matisow conversation for about 2 years. It was about 2 years later when I finally listened to it, because I was so deathly afraid to listen to it, knowing how I was in my frame of mind. But it wasn't quite as bad as I had thought it was in my head. But even though I wasn't in my right frame of mind, I sure as hell wasn't lying or storytelling. I think you can go back. I think anyone can go back and pick that apart, and everything that I mentioned is completely factual. There was a lot of talk about how you know I was just making shit up, or storytelling and whatnot, but no, definitely not. But yeah, I feel I'm very, very delirious right now. I'm probably going to do the same thing I did then. I'm going to wake up when I finally go to sleep and think that talking on here, that was just a dream. I didn't actually do it, because I'm going to get my side's not going to be going to be real happy I did this. But and that's why, I mean, when I get going, I want to say what I want to say.
Well, it's good to talk,
But
man. You're not really saying anything that's
yeah, I'm actually just
it's good.
yeah, here on another planet. I don't I don't smoke weed or do any drugs or anything, but I would imagine that uh, I feel pretty close to what it would feel like if I was high or on shrooms or something. I'm kind of feeling like that right now.
Mike, if you don't mind me jumping in here, it's a safe space for you. It's Eden Rocks here. As the
Oh, nothing's safe
showbiz,
with me, Eden. There's absolutely nothing safe with me. That's for sure.
well, we're here to accommodate people, anybody, and it's the truth. And if you want to speak in metaphors, we can prepare those. And I'm being dead serious, because you can say, we could talk about the Magician movie, just how you want to say it, and the people are here to listen. And if you don't want to
Yeah,
take questions,
well,
I just
I'll
want to
say
try to make
this.
you comfortable, Mike. Don't feel bad. You know what I mean? We're just here to
Well,
listen.
watch that movie. Now You See Me. There's a second one as well.
It's a
And
good one. You ever see my
you know
profile
what?
picture? I got the ace of spades coming out of my sleeve. But anyway, sorry. Back to you, buddy.
Oh yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, uh, I'm no magician, but I did have I did have some magician hopes to for something to come out of this prior what became of the so-called cheating scandal. Uh, but yeah, I mean, that's because I can't say too much, and I'm like fighting internally over what I can say and what I can't say. I guess what I would suggest is to watch that movie and just think of me as I don't know, one of the horsemen, I guess, when it comes to what everyone thinks is 100% factual and there's absolutely no refuting it. Um, you you were sold a lie, very much so, and eventually, when the time is right, uh, I'll uh, I'll be able to prove it.
Well, we're here for you, Mike, if nobody else is. But Omar, wouldn't you say now that he's come here, I wouldn't be
you know
shocked
what?
if the people that start getting back to you on those bigger platforms, Mike. But we're always here for you
Uh,
if something doesn't work out.
well, yeah, there's been multiple platforms that have offered me a good sum of money to come on and talk, and I've turned them down. I actually had a lot of this stemmed from I had uh, a guy that I know who came onto a Spaces yesterday and defended me and wanted to talk about me. I found out about that after the fact, but in some of the discussion and what was said, during that process, I I don't know. I got to thinking about it and stewing over it, which is why I haven't slept. Part of the reason why I haven't slept in a while. But then I heard about this space is going on, and then I hear the repeating of uh, the same. I don't know what else to call it other than fake news. I know that's the common term, but you know no one can really put themselves in my shoes because no one has been no one has been lied about or accused of God multiple things, and and then the facts behind it. No one's been just put through the ringer nonstop, quite like quite like I have, um, and so it's it's hard to it's really hard to explain uh, I guess how I feel and everything everything that I want to say, knowing I I have to wait on it. But I thought it'd be a good idea to talk with Sean since he was on, and get some people to maybe do some critical thinking for a change and see hey what's true and what's not true. And look, going back to what I heard earlier, Joe Ingram went through every single hand, and there's hundreds of hands that prove that he did something. No, go back and I shouldn't say go back and watch Joe Ingram streams because that's not very educational. Um, but how about tuning into any one of the streams that I was adamant that stayed up. Go back and actually, think about things in a different light. Think about, you know, like one of the things that I hear quite a bit is, well, it's so obvious. He's making it so obvious that he's doing something. Yeah, that was kind of the point. That was there was a reason for that. There's a reason for everything. Every single thing that I did had a reason behind it. When it came to playing as non GTO as possible, which I do anyway, so that's not hard. But it's like, why is he doing what he's doing? Why? Like, think about it. I'm I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm not an idiot either. Um, I mean, could touch on. I was I was the very first person to go to Ultimate Bet higher ups and tell them that something wasn't right and something was going on. uh, you know, in the ultimate bet. It just kills me when I hear, oh, he's just an idiot. He's just a, you know, he's a greedy cheater. Like I I was analyzing the ultimate bet stuff for years. Why, if anyone if anyone would have had access to anything, if anyone would have known better or know how to, you know, get around it undetected, it would have been me. So I guess think about that one. I'll have more on that later, but I don't know. I guess I'm just in the perfect state of mind to put some things out there to get hopefully people to, you know, he left that job because the casino wasn't doing what they should have done to prevent someone who was trying to cheat in, I think it was a table game. You know, the casino wasn't acting on what they should have acted on to prevent this guy from playing or potentially cheating. And you know, Justin made his his whatever known that, you know, he didn't agree with that, and he left that job because of it. Um, you know, like let's look at let's look at, you know, who's involved here and who's what they're about. You know, like it kills me that people actually throw his name out there like, oh yeah, he was involved. He you know, Mike only won on the stream when, you know, he was there, and he didn't win when he was out of town. Like that was proven a long time ago that there was absolutely there was no basis behind that. That was a particular person and the couple that, you know, she's associated with, who put out lie after lie after lie after false narrative and more to get everyone to believe that, you know, something happened. And you know, again, I really hate comparing this to what our news is today, but I don't I think even the most diehard on a certain side can probably agree that our mainstream media is an absolute disaster right now. And hating to compare it, but having to, there were people in poker media who took a page out of the mainstream media playbook to point to, you know, the narratives and twisted facts to really push home that
hey, this guy's 100% guilty. Let's let's wrap it up. Here it is. And it's like, uh, I don't know. I can't wait to every single poker article that was written, every single writer, uh, the the 10,000 plus screenshots I have of tweets and all that. Like, I really hope everyone is. Hope I hope everyone's prepared to answer a lot of questions that myself and those who've put thousands of hours into this thing have for them. Uh, tell you what, if I did what I was accused of, you know where I'd be right now? I would be on a private island surrounded by, well, not this, and I'd be enjoying whatever ill-gotten gains everyone thought that I'd gotten. Because I did this, I'd like to ask those who are completely 100% on the other side, why did I stay in the same house, keep the same phone number? Why did I stay where I was and spend tens of thousands of dollars on both legal help and help on the side? Why did I do that if I had done something? Why did I not take the 250,000 plus that was offered of me to just admit guilt and say how I did it? Why didn't I do that? Even if I had done what I was accused of, like what would have happened to me? Like, what happens in that situation? From what I was told, it would, like, because I was curious, what happens. Um, it's not a whole lot. If I was a greedy cheater, desperate for money, willing to do something in a game that I was already doing well in, playing a game that I've already played successfully for, well, at the time, 16 plus years. Um, I, I can't say that either.
Yeah, don't
uh,
say anything you can't say, because you could come on here anytime and we shoot the shit. So
yeah. This is just, like I said, me in a delirious state with 4.5 years of pent up uh, frustration over wanting to, finally get things out. I can't tell you how many people close to me have been adamant about, one way or the other, like, get it out there. No, wait. Like, I'm the type to take the Robbie approach. She came out there firing. I wanted to go down that road early on, and sometimes I wish I had. And looking back on it now, it definitely wasn't the right time. Rule of thumb: if you've been accused of something, whether you did something or you didn't do it, first rule of thumb is you shut your mouth. You don't say anything. You gather evidence. Put things together, and then you defend yourself. And unfortunately, it's things have taken a lot longer than I want them to have. That's for sure. But obviously, it's coming. Here I am talking about it instead of being on a private island enjoying supposed stolen funds. Um, it's just I just thought I thought it'd be time to let it be known that I've been working on things. and there's a story to tell, and it's pretty wild. People think that the the so-called cheating scandal was, that's the only part of the story. It's when it's nowhere near the best part of the story. There's a lot to it, and I have all that. Someone thinks I, just destroyed evidence and hid things and whatnot, and no, that's not what happened. I preserved what you think was destroyed, and I documented extremely well. So I guess it's a heads up to like either be ready to defend your actions, or I don't know, maybe have a talk with me, and let's see what we can work out. Though I can't say that either. Anyway, my my deliriousness is getting to me, so I should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, man. Get some rest. Take it easy. I'll reach out. We got the guys working on it. I got tons of information coming in, so let me get up to speed, and we'll have you come back on. But it's good to talk, man. I'm sure you got a little bit off your chest, and come back anytime. Hit up Eden, and we'll put a show or just come by and hang out. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, it's Sean. Did you remember the question you wanted to ask me?
Sean, I'm a bit out of it right now. I don't. I mean, like I said, I've got multiple questions for you, which is why I'd reached out to you previously. There was one in particular that came across my mind when you had jumped up to speak, and that was actually why I was uh, you know I accepted the invite to come on. Was I figured it would be a good opportunity to ask you instead of going back and forth and DM or hoping to meet up at some point. Um, but I really you're in a tough spot, Sean. You're close friends with a lot of my detractors, the main one included. So, I know you're in a tough spot. So I hope that you can, remain unbiased when it comes to hard facts, evidence, proof on both sides. I hope that you can take a hard look at it and make a logical determination based on that. Part of the reason why this is a tough spot is, and this was touched on earlier, there's a lot in the poker industry where, it's just a popularity contest. The topic of discussion was, the GPI awards and the legitimacy of them, and, how, the popularity contest plays a part in it. Well, like, if anyone knows that, it's definitely me. And like me, I'm pretty much a nobody, and I don't have anyone of influence really on my side of things. And the reason for that is because early on, there were a lot of powerful people in the poker industry who, let's just say, went all in on my guilt. And that led to, more and more of, well, if so and so says he's guilty, then he's guilty. It's a wrap. There's no need for me to look at anything because, so and so said he was, so he must be. And then, kind of what happens from there is, the telephone game happens, and facts become twisted and grown to a point where it's just anywhere near factual. And the problem here, Sean, is that you've got the nobody on one side, and then you've got some of the most popular people in the poker industry on the other side. So, if anyone, has the ability to put themselves into my shoes or imagine themselves being accused of something that they did not do, and you're fighting against an entire industry who played, judge, jury, and executioner in a matter of days. Uh, I hope that you can imagine, the kind of battle that is that I have faced, and for those who proclaim that I should have, you know, gone the Robbie route of proclaiming my innocence early on, there was absolutely nothing, especially based on what I knew at the time, there was absolutely nothing that I could have said early on that would have swayed any opinion whatsoever. Um, and I'm pretty sure everyone can agree on that one. When you've got, the so-called investigator of poker with Joey, and then Doug doing his clickbait videos, and Matt Berkey, who curiously came to play at Stones Live for a couple hours on a whim. Um, when you've got intelligent, and all those people are very intelligent. I guess you could just point to everyone I named in my lawsuit, which I can't talk about now, but we'll talk about later as far as, why I did that and the reasons behind it and what my actual plans were for that. Obviously, my plans were not to get a bunch of money. There was something else that I wanted to do. But if you take everyone that I named, you take those who, made the videos and wrote the articles and all that, like, it's an impossible it was an impossible feat for someone like me, regardless of how experienced I am in poker, going back to when I started to, to the present. There was absolutely nothing I could have done or said that would have changed anything. And what I'm asking you, Sean, this wasn't my question before, but I really hope that you can keep that in mind when we do talk, and I am able to, show you some things on my side that will hopefully cure some of the problems that we have in the poker industry. Um, not just the popularity contest, not just the the biases and the let's just accuse everyone of cheating and not have any repercussions for it. I really hope that's something, when the time is right, that people can look back on and say, we didn't get that one. We really didn't do our best job there. Let's just try to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So that's what I hope we can accomplish from this. When we do talk, of course, there's something else too, but um, that's that's what I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping that those who spoke out against me, who branded me, um, I'm hoping they can, they're willing to either, talk with me or be open to doing it, something that's very difficult for a lot of people, which, is admitting that, they might have gotten carried away on something, which putting it lightly, of course. So anyway, that's I guess that's one thing, Sean. I'll get with you on what else it was.
Well, Mike, like I told you, if you send me anything you want me to look at, I will look at it objectively and fairly. And you know me, I'll never make a bad ruling. So if it's something, it doesn't matter. I'm going to look at it fairly. So, and the rest is your story to tell, man.
All right. Well, I certainly appreciate that. I'm certainly not afraid to talk with anyone. I'm not afraid to share information, things of that nature. Um, it's, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to, sit here 4+ years later and just consistently see so many people get things wrong or talk as if they know exactly what happened in whatever situation or anything involving me is. It's really really difficult to continually hearing that over and over and over again. As good as I do sometimes with distancing myself from that and staying off of social media and not listening to anything, I still I can't help it, I guess. But yeah, I'd so I guess I'll just reiterate to Matt Berkey, like, let's just have a well, I don't think Matt Berkey can do anything without the eyeballs and the clicks and the views, so it's probably a waste of time, but maybe
That's why he wins the awards, award-winning show over there, for that very reason, right, Mike?
Yeah, I'm not into the awards and whatnot, so I can't speak on that. But maybe Nick can convince Veronica to have me in, and we can do something that, well, I've been waiting for a long time, and I think everyone deserves to know things that they don't know, and we'll see if this helps convince Veronica to do a one-on-one friendly question for question chat. And I don't think she'd do it anywhere else other than her home turf. So that's why I reached out to Nick to see if we could make that happen. He's let me know her thoughts on why she wouldn't want to do it. So I'm going to say publicly, Veronica, you don't have anything to worry about. Let's just gather what we have, and let's ask each other questions. You can ask me anything, and I'll have some questions for you, and we'll do what the people want. I'm usually one to do things in private. I like to talk to people, privately and hash things out privately. But apparently, since I've tried to do that with multiple people within the industry who spoke out against me, and none of them want to talk to me, wonder why. Since no one wants to do it privately, I guess we'll try doing it publicly. So make it happen.
Well, we could do it right on Spaces. Yeah, I know Veronica.
Well,
She knows Eden.
Yeah, I let Nick know that when it comes to Veronica, I'd like to do it I'd like to do it in person.
Oh, my bad.
And at least when it comes to Veronica, I want her, I mean, if she's going to continuously lie about me, which she's done, since the start of this, or at least until she got confident enough to do it. I want to know, I want to see if she's confident enough to, continually lie about me to my face. I want her to look me in the eyes and do it. So when it comes to her, that's how it'll be. If she doesn't, if she's not comfortable or confident to do that, to talk to me with whatever excuse she has, then we'll figure something else out. I definitely have a plan B and a plan C, so we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a Spaces guy. I very rarely listen. It's every time I have listened, it's been grown men screaming at each other, trying to get the last word in while cussing each other and putting each other down. And, you can only listen to so much of that. So it's usually me tuning in for a couple minutes and then trying to find something productive to do, which hopefully others are, can start doing that. Put as much time into your personal and family life as you do into being obsessed with poker drama, and your life will be a lot better. I guess that's maybe something some people can do, because it's. I heard earlier that Spaces has been it's been dying and people aren't interested anymore. I think that plays a big part in it. So for you guys, I know you guys are big into it. Hopefully you can help make that happen. I think numbers are down, or people don't care as much anymore, because it's a little too much when it's just guys screaming at each other and going off on each other. Like, I would definitely try to have more productive conversations, more civil conversations, and instead of the I hate you, I'm blocking you and don't ever come back, and then 5 minutes later it's they're best friends again. So, like, I guess that's just my suggestion when it comes to Spaces, and maybe you guys can help make that happen, with kind of how it was earlier, at the beginning. The that Spaces where I got into was one where I was talked about, and someone was supposed to go in there and talk, and weren't able to. And hopefully once once things start coming out, hopefully others who know information, who know some of what I'm talking about or alluding to, hopefully they can get the confidence they need to come forward with their information. Um, I use a lot of movie references with this, and no, I can't. I won't say that. Um, Sorry, I'm
Hey, Mike, to defend the integrity of
reevaluating.
the Spaces, this whole entire segment, we couldn't hear a pin drop, right? So it's not all bluster and nonsense, right, Mike? We'll set the stage for you. Don't worry about that. And on that topic, it's all just attacking me and my guys because we're the best. It's that simple. So I got my own kind of bizarro Mike Postle metaverse going on. So I can relate, although, to that sense. And you know what? You say other people are in a tough spot, but we're in an easy spot. I don't care what anybody says. You can give your version, or you can say whatever you want to say. And I want to stress in metaphors, or like a cartoon. It's not a joke. You can say stuff without saying it here, Mike. And anyway, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah. unscripted, unprepared.
Well, we can do a script too,
Spur
Mike.
of
You
the
know what I mean? We
moment.
can
No,
curate
I mean that's
stuff.
what this was. Yeah. No,
No,
I'm
of
saying
Well,
course,
we
of
got to
course.
get
that's
him
what
an
this
entrance
was.
song,
Yeah.
right?
I certainly no, I don't need any of that.
That'd be plus.
I don't like the attention. I really don't. So I don't like the attention at all. I just like to do my own thing. I'm just a guy who loves to play poker, loves to play sports and golf and talk about football and play fantasy football and go through 1989 baseball cards and I'm that's all I want to do. Like and people who could read into the game. It was what was I doing? I was drinking and joking and it was I was doing what I like to do and what poker should be. It should be, poker should be more like that. Just going to play and in a casino where you don't have to worry about all the shadiness online and have fun and cut up and tell jokes and show some bluffs and play non-GTO and blow people's minds and things like that. That's what poker should be, and that's all I want to do um, when it comes to poker. Um, I and then when it comes to this, I have fought with you know sometimes I just want to start a new life and get into another industry and just leave poker behind, but I can't. What happened to me? What happened to me has happened to a lot of people in a lot worse situations, and I think there are times when if you're strong enough to do it, uh, you should make things right and expose the wrongs that were done and were said and try and make it a learning experience so it doesn't happen again. What happened to me shouldn't happen to anyone in this industry. I followed the Robbie thing pretty closely. I think most people know my opinion on that one. I could see what happened, and to me, it's pretty clear cut. Um, she's in a lot different position than I am. Um, it's well, you know, a Beauty and the Beast type of thing. She's the beauty and I'm the beast, and no one cares about the beast. And but at the same time, she went through a lot. Um, I can relate to Nick when it comes to the accusations that were thrown at him, along with others, and I definitely admired Robbie being able to do what she did to you know tell her side, and eventually I'll do it. I just have to do it in a different way since my story involves years, a few years, prior of storytelling, and then almost a full year of planned premeditation to do something that wasn't very good, which propelled someone distinctly in into a position, and a lot of people benefited from it, and so you know I have to find a way to put all that together, which is what I've been working on, and then I guess I have to tell that story.
Hey, Mike. Hope you don't mind me interrupting. I've got an offer on the table. It just came in. It's not a bid. I want to preface this real quick by saying shout outs to Nick Vertucci, friend of the show. So, I'm not trying to undercut him. I'm sure him and Veronica and you would do a fantastic job. Hopefully you can, that comes together. But if that falls through, a second option has been dropped on my desk, as we like to say here on the streets. Sean Deeb is offering for him to facilitate the interview with you, himself, and Veronica, bro. That is an offer that just dropped on my desk that I'm relaying
Do
on
okay.
with respect to
Do
Sean Deeb.
What do we need
do we
Sean Deeb for?
I'm just saying it's an offer. An offer's coming in.
because
Yeah,
Sean has to inject himself into anything and everything
yeah, we
possible.
decline that
Now, if we can
offer.
get coherent Sean Deeb, I'd entertain that.
I'm just trying to do right by everybody, guys. Come on.
Hey, since Sean Deeb was brought up, I mean, he was,
Yeah, fuck
you know,
Sean
he
Deeb.
was. Sean Deeb offered me 200,000 to just admit that I was guilty and say
Well,
how I did
maybe he's
it.
not such
I
a
don't know
bad
if
guy.
Sean Deeb remembers that, but Sean Deeb made that offer, and there were dozens and dozens of other offers out there of pitching in specific amounts to either me or my daughter's college education and things of that nature. And I actually with my writing, I'm a lot better writer than I am speaker. I hate cameras, I hate interviews, I hate speaking in public. It's not my thing. But I am a writer. I've I've written a lot. Anyway, I did write a story on how I supposedly did it. Unfortunately, it was fiction. But my plan was to tell my fiction story and then collect the money from everyone who had offered and then go to that private island and sip on beach cocktails for the rest of my days. Uh, but yeah, Sean Deeb. So um, one of my request to Nick was that it just be Veronica and I. Nick could sit between us, uh, you know, and we would just take turns. She can ask me whatever she wants. After I answer and she's satisfied, then I would ask my question, and we would just go back and forth until we were both out of questions. And obviously, we'd be bringing any documentation, evidence, and all that to the table, and we could, tell our side. Now, I was actually pitched I had a well, I was hit up by a lot of television producers and movie writers and whatnot, and one of the TV shows that was pitched to me was literally a new show, and the idea was brought forth, from a one-on-one with her and I, and the pitch was to spend 30 minutes each telling our story, and then the audience would vote on who they felt was either telling the truth or was correct. And I love the idea. like I was like, yeah, I would love to do that. Unfortunately, I was working with someone else at the time, and I couldn't entertain any other offers. But it just got me thinking, and I mean, my mind goes 100 miles an hour in 100 different directions anytime any of this, I get into deep thought with any of it, and I never know, what I really want to do or what direction I want to go. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that more than anything, even though I've been, told multiple times, hey, you can tell your story for free, or you can tell your story and monetize it. How do you want to do it? And for me, I I don't care either way. The only reason I would want to monetize it is so I could take care of, there's people, you know friends and family that have put hundreds, thousands of hours into researching and and getting the facts straight and the data points correct and whatnot. And, I want to reward those people for, for being there for me and helping me when, because my, my mind hasn't been right in, 10 years, but it's really been out of this world for the last, well, 4.5 years. So I need a lot of help with that stuff, and I'd like to reward them for it. So, with that in mind, I have to consider that. But at the same time, I've reached my breaking point, so to speak, and I just want something to happen. And when things aren't getting done on a time frame that I want, I guess I just felt like I need to initiate things myself. So that's why I'm here after not hearing back from the two that I reached out to. I guess I got a little frustrated with that and decided to prod a little bit and see if we could make that happen. Nick wants to do it. We'll see if who is willing to do it. Cue the excuses. She'll have them. I've got a whole list of them that she'll have. Some of which she's given already. But when it comes to her, like, I'm throwing out the triple dare. Like, I triple dare you to do it. Let's have the long-awaited discussion, and let's talk about all the things that have been said for the last 4.5 years, and let's provide our evidence on both sides and see what happens. But as far as you guys are concerned, I know all you guys you guys just want to know if I'm what I'll do otherwise. Like I said, I guess I'm putting it out there to I see one of them's listening right now. Todd, you've never reached out to me, not once. It's probably time you do that if you want, since I'm seeing him here.
He's been requesting to go up, but I know we know. I could bring him up, but that's up to you.
I
We could save for the next show.
Like I told Berkey, I said before I talk to anyone except for Veronica, she's in a category of her own, of course. Before I talk to anyone, they have to be willing to do that rare feat of having a private talk with me ahead of time to, someone talking to me will, in a private manner where no one else, there's no ears, there's no eyes, they're going to talk to me in a different way than they would if they, if they brought me onto their show or, whatever it is. The, using, I guess we'll use Berkey as an example. If I went on Berkey's show, just, out of the blue, what do you think would happen? Like, it would just be, just be a ridicule fest, just be him talking down to me and trying to discredit me for, anything and everything, and then defending, things that he said that weren't true, and we wouldn't get anywhere. And all it would do is just give him a whole bunch of views and attention. And so that's, that's not going to happen with anyone without the discussion ahead of time.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I want to hear more about this. Now you see it, now you don't. Magician, movie, metaphor, crazy script, building people up as a conspiracy. kind of stuff.
Oh.
That's I don't know about anybody else. You're whetting my appetite for intrigue with all that talk, Mr. Postle.
I've told about 5% of it. It's so much. There's so much more to it than I can even describe. The inner workings, what went on behind the scenes, and a year before anyone even realized anything was going on, who all was involved, the talks, the script, so to speak, of how do we. I can't say that either, but I'll just say that there's way more to it than I can even describe right now, and there's certainly way more to it than anyone realizes. There's there's a reason why I've been hit up by a lot of people who do things to tell stories in a big way, and I just decided that I wasn't going to do anything until I had the majority of what I needed together, because I didn't want to tell a half story. I didn't want to have to say anything or insinuate anything without the evidence behind it. And half of it was easy. There were so many people who wanted to talk about me and the situation early on that a lot of what I was curious about came out from people just wanting to talk, not being smart like like me right now. I'm just rambling, but there was a lot that needed to happen before I could do anything, and so that hopefully answers the question as far as why didn't he defend himself? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? There's a reason, I promise. And everything that I do say, everything I have said, everything I will say, certainly in the future, there will be evidence behind it. There will be, sorry, Veronica, I didn't destroy my phone. I made sure to preserve all of our conversations, all of our threads. And that goes for a lot. And I guess I'll put things out there with what I have behind it to show what happened, the entire timeline. And then people can do what they enjoy doing best. They can play detective and draw their own conclusions and get excited about the drama, because that's what the poker industry likes. I don't like it, but I guess it is what it is. So we'll go that route and see what happens. Is Nick in here by chance?
We can drop a line to request on the speed dial to request somebody to get in here. Let me do that right now.
It's no big deal. Don't have to make any
Sure?
special requests. No, I was just curious if he was in here.
Hex, do the speed dial. Hextopian, the co-host here, valuable member of the team.
I think he's playing poker at HCL right back to Monday. I think he still might be on the
Oh,
table.
is that right?
Oh,
well, we can still try.
No, I was just
anyway.
Curious.
Sorry, Mike.
No, it's okay. I just he comes on here quite a bit. He can elaborate later, I'm sure, after feeling it out a little bit more. So yeah, that's I guess that's it. I know there was a lot more things off the top of my head I wanted to say, mostly in regards to, again, whoever that was speaking before Sean. Any two cards, something like that.
Yeah, that was him.
I mean, every single thing that he said was completely untrue, and I will pay him or anyone a significant amount of money to prove any of it true, because it's not. So that'll be another one for later when it comes to everything that was said prior and proving it. Uh, there's no way. I'll throw some offers out there. I'll just say that. Don't believe everything you hear, people. Just because someone screamed it into a microphone on the internet or on YouTube, just because you read it in a news article. Think for yourself and do some research, and don't fall into the trap of just believing what you want to believe, because sometimes that stuff seriously affects somebody's life. And I'm not speaking for myself here. This whole situation and the butterfly effect of how it affected so many people's lives in different ways was it's unfathomable how terrible it was to a lot of people. Speaking on the monetization, and people who are close to me know I have never cared about having a significant amount of money, and in fact, when I do have it, I usually blow it having fun and creating memories and enjoying time with friends and family. And but one thing I wanted to do that I feel like I should mention now is that the people involved hurt a lot of people, including, I mean, one example, Stone's employees. Stone's and the people behind it, the owners and management and the employees, like they didn't deserve to have accusations brought their way as if they were involved in something. Their incomes were heavily affected by the lies that were told and what was done. And one of the things that I wanted to do was eventually I wanted to have I guess a reunion of sorts, and put up a whole bunch of money into a free roll, and have those people who were affected be able to play in it and have some sort of recovery of how their lives were affected. I mean, they weren't involved in any way, shape, or form. Just using one example, and there were employees there that had to they had to change jobs, lost their jobs, had to move, move out of the place that they were living in, move out of the area, all because a small group of individuals, where only one had the I can't think of the word, the audacity, well, the other ones weren't. The other ones knew better than to do it. They found the one person who would do it, and for that person and those responsible, it certainly was not fair to anyone whose lives were affected that the way they were. And that's again just one example, and going back to Justin Caritas, like, seriously, if you're out there still talking bad and negative about someone with as much class and honor and and just the sheer opposite of what was accused of him, like, you just have no idea when your words and your accusations affect someone's life like that. Like, I don't even I just don't have words for it. Like, other than do better. The poker players are smart. You guys should know better, so do better. It's not. I hate hate to use the innocent until proven guilty thing or narrative, but I mean, yeah, some really shitty things happen in the poker industry, but man, ever since my thing, it's been like there's been absolutely no repercussions to just accusing anyone and everyone of doing something nefarious. And like we gotta go back to when that wasn't a thing, because you guys aren't the same people that claim to be all about the industry are not acting as if that's the best thing. It's all about self promotion. It's all about what clicks and followers can I get? What kind of attention can I get? How can I build my clout, whatever, to at the expense of others, which is what eventually. I called his name out earlier. Eventually, we'll have that discussion, but hopefully, I don't know. I'm just I'm very uninvolved in have been very uninvolved in poker, and even more so obviously lately. But every time I tune back into it, like it just gets worse and worse every time I tune back in. Just the drama and the accusations and just the nonstop bickering, and it's not about it's not so much about talking about the best players anymore. It's who can drum up the most controversy and just make things up for the sake of discussing it. And when you do that, sometimes you're really you have no idea how one sec. You have no idea how you can be affecting someone's life, their livelihood, everything. That's a hard thing to. It's a really hard thing to put. It's a hard thing for people to put themselves in someone else's shoes when that's happening. It's just too easy to throw darts at others from behind a keyboard or a computer screen.
Well, we don't want you to go now, Mike. We're here as long as you want to regale us with this
No,
kind of thing. But when you're ready for sleep, you should turn into the competitor space, because that'll zonk you right out. Just if I could make a recommendation, much worse than our spaces.
I didn't think about that one. I usually have other things to help me sleep, but yeah, I meant to go a long time ago. I just wanted to ask Sean a quick question, and I guess got me in a mood, and decided to let some things out and see what happens. But there's I don't know. We'll see. I'll see. As far as plans, I haven't decided what route I'm going down yet. But I guess me being on the fence on whether to do one thing or the other, I thought the best way to, sometimes I need a little convincing later on with myself where I need to do something to make sure I do the right thing. And I think me accepting the invite to come and speak was to, I guess, open up a little bit and put some things out there. So I didn't change my mind later on, and you know, for example, take an offer that I've turned down thus far to, you know, be done and out of the poker industry and not think about it anymore, and take over a friend's business, and that's extremely successful, and just not worry about poker anymore. But I know I can't. Like I just I've lost too much sleep, and it's on my mind. I don't think a day goes by where I don't think about something in regards to this. So, you know, to be able to finally be able to get the truth out there, not just get the truth out there, but to expose the page that was taken out of mainstream media over how to pretty much how to convict someone of something, uh, and you know, get away with it for as long as possible. That whole playbook was definitely put into use. Now, granted, I didn't exactly help things with trying to be a smartass about it and play the gotcha moment, because that was part of what led to everyone's beliefs. Don't worry, Bart. You and I will be talking, or we'll find a way. Don't worry. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try and go get some sleep.
Right on. Thanks for coming by, Mike. Anytime you want to jump on, we're usually running. Eden's usually running. Nobody's gonna ambush you. Yeah, next time you're probably gonna have to pick a couple questions, but we could still shoot the shit, talk about anything. You know, we're trying to do entertainment, move away from the screaming and all that bullshit the other guys do. But but yeah, we're here, man. Thanks for coming out. It was great, man. Very interesting. Sounded great.
No, it's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna wake up and probably not be able to, you know, to hear this. Like I'm, yeah, I'm beyond the delirious state. I just, I guess I just wanted to say a few things since it's been a while, and I guess we'll see. I'm, and myself and others are definitely watching and listening. I'm curious on, I'm curious on some reactions out of a handful of individuals. Maybe some of them will hit me up and, you know, share some notes, or I don't know, just have a conversation, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I can't make any promises. I'm, you know, like I said, I'm supposed to be working on some things. Whether they, you know, the current things materialize or not, I don't know. But eventually, something will be done. And
Yeah, well,
I'm I guess I did this for myself to make sure I didn't choose door number two with going elsewhere and and giving it up. since I had that offer, which would have been very productive from a financial standpoint. But I decided I'd rather just stay, well, somewhat on the broke side of the line and do what I need to do, and then after that's done, make a new decision afterwards.
Yeah, well, you could always jump on a burner too, right? We're gonna be we'll be
I'm
looking
glad
in
you
the
mentioned that.
case. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I encourage anyone to open things back up. I've had a lot of people hit me up saying, "Hey, we're gonna relook at everything with fresh eyes and go over things and interact with you to get information and evidence and whatnot." And so far no one's done that after saying that they would. So we'll see if anyone else is willing to do that. We'll see.
Like
So,
to see
like I
what
said,
California has.
I'm a combination of both falling asleep from severe lack of sleep right now and delirium. So I'm gonna cut it
Yeah, you
off.
could dip out. I think the buttons on the top there. Thanks for coming in, and yeah, man, get some sleep.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, Mike.
Okay.
This is HBK here. Welcome to the Omar Show. Thanks for coming in, man. You know, you're always welcome here with Omar. And the show is brought to you by the Eden Rocks Corporation. Just want to throw that out there.
All right. Yeah, it'd probably be best to, I encourage anyone to do some fact checking before spewing, and and maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
Well,
I'm on the case, so I'm definitely going to be looking at it,
Right.
and we got guys, so
Yeah, we'll give you a fair shake
we're on
over
it.
here, Mike. Don't worry about that.
yeah, I hope you feel like you're being treated well, Mike. I mean, Omar and Eden are men of their word, and they protected your speech so you could say your things. So I hope you felt comfortable tonight, and you're more than welcome to come back again.
There
All
was
right,
there was
well,
about 20, 25 people trying to get up. Everybody wanted a piece at you, but yeah, we don't run spaces like that over here. But yeah,
yeah, obviously next time I'll be a little more awake. I can't go much further. So,
yeah, no
but
doubt.
I'm glad to have a peaceful discussion. Simply answering questions without any, without attacking each other. I'm willing to do that with anyone, and anyone who knows that's actually had the guts to come and talk to me, knows that. So, uh, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the loop on everything.
All right. Yeah, you can hit me up and we'll go from there.
Right on, man. Cool, man. Get some rest.
All right.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming by.
I'm gonna go pass out. Thanks.
Later, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for
All right.
coming on, buddy.
Take care. Yep. All right.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Now, how do I go about